Hey, I was just a little worried that that previous video might have been a little bit too down in the weeds. So I'm recording a second shorter one. If you watched that first one and you were like, huh? Um, this is kind of the gist of it. So we're talking about records, which are a type of composite value. And the idea of a record is, instead of having indexes to take you to the different parts of it, every part has sort of a semantic name identifier, right? So sort of a label. So this whole box that I'm drawing might be an employee, and he has, these are called fields, called name, and then each field can be a different type of thing that takes up a different amount of space. So for instance, name could take up 16 bytes. We might have another field, age, which takes up, and you don't have to draw it bigger, but sometimes that helps. That might take up only 1 byte. And something like the wage could take up a different number, like maybe 4 bytes. So since each field takes up a different amount of space, this is a not homogeneous but heterogeneous, whatever. I hate spelling words that are this long. Structure. The total size of the record is going to be 16 plus 1 plus 4, which is 21 bytes. And this is nothing other than a different way to group your parts. And last time I spent some time trying to explain why you might, how this might be laid out in memory. But what's more important is how you use it. When you want to indicate that a variable is a value that's of some type of record, you have to somehow declare what a record is and what its parts are. And then you just say, I have employee. And when you say, you use the capital E to indicate the type of thing. Usually the types of things begin with an uppercase letters, EMP. And what that basically does in your pseudocode, so maybe this is my pseudocode somewhere, is say there is a new value. I want to reserve that 21 bytes. And the way that I'm going to interpret this value is as a record. And in order to access the fields, I could, for instance, I could print employee.name to display the employee's name. We use a dot to go from the record to its field, right? So this is the record. Sometimes we'll call those objects, right? But that adds some extra semantics and meaning that we'll discuss in a different chapter. We might say employee.name. So go to employee and then scroll down to figure out the offset to its name, and that's what I want you to print out. We might say read employee.age, or we might say set, so you can read or you can write to them, but the name of this value right here is emp.age. So you give it sort of the variable name and then the offset to where the value is stored relative to that variable name. And I hope that wraps it up. This is a short section in your book, and I spoke a lot about it in the last video. So I just wanted to refocus on the important parts.